What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to go ahead and say thank y'all for clicking on today's video. Thank you, God, for another opportunity. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, all you gotta do is turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and be sure to leave a comment down below when complete. So without further ado, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I am bringing y'all 3 of the most rare, never before seen, and commonly used builds on NBA 2K22, current gen. And coming up first, I am bringing y'all the two-way pass first wing made out of the small forward position. Now, once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of the pie chart, of course, we're going to go with the pie chart that is going to be split right down the middle with the playmaking as well as the defensive pie chart. Now, once we go ahead and get into the physical profile, you have 2 options, not only for this build, but a majority of builds, and I'm going to go ahead and share a little tip for y'all. The first pie chart definitely is going to be the speed pie chart for the maximum possible, but if you take a look at the fourth, you're only taking about a -4 hit when it comes down to the speed, and you're getting at least a +10 boost when it comes down to the vertical. So that is why I always decide and tend to go with the fourth one. However, if you want to go ahead and be one of those faster builds with a maxed out speed, go ahead and pick the first. But as you can see, for the finishing on this build, we're going to end off with a total of 6 finishing badges. As for the shooting, we're going to be able to get a total of 8. Then, for the playmaking, I like it that I was able to bring this build up to 21. Then finally, we are going to be able to use the rest of the attributes for the defense. So, I went ahead and maxed out the perimeter defense, lateral quickness, and steal. Then from here, I did go ahead and max out my defensive rebound. We're going to be able to get 20 total defensive badges on this build, and even consider the extra badges that we're going to be able to add onto this build from completing each season now that we're in season 7. Really something to think about. Now, when it comes down to the body shape, I would tend to go with burly or build, depending on how you want to go about making this build and making it look as well. For the height, I'm going to go with 6'7". That is definitely perfect. However, for next gen, I actually do use a 6'8" two-way pass first wing, so something to think about as well. If you want to go ahead and make some adjustments to this build, go ahead and try it out. Now, for the weight, I'm going to go with 191, and then finally, for the wingspan, to get contact dunks on this build, if you do go with an 89.0 wingspan, you're going to be able to do just that. And look at the takeovers. Playmaking, so we're able to break ankles. The lockdown and slashing, just so we're able to get more contact dunk animations. Let's go ahead and check out the build name that we have created together. And as I said, we have created the two-way pass first wing. And honestly, this is a really great comparison of Jaylen Brown. Really solid build. And again, if you have been watching the NBA Conference Finals, let me know right now, between the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat, who do y'all think is going to win this series? In my opinion, I'm calling it right now. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be the Boston Celtics as well as the Golden State Warriors in the finals. Let me know in the comment section right now, though, who do you think is going to take it all? And now, let's go ahead and get back into the breakdown of the build. So the second build that I got lined up for y'all today is going to be called the Back-to-Basket Big. Now, for me, this is easily one of the best, most toxic builds that you can possibly use when it comes down to the 1v1 court. Now, you're going to see exactly why I mean that when I bring it down to y'all, and also show you what these stats are going to be looking like. But let's go ahead and get 50 likes on this banger. So if you have not already, go ahead and hit it, and I'm telling you, everything is going to be solid. We're going to go ahead and grow the Rich Gang family constantly. But as you can see, for the breakdown of the pie chart, I'm going to go with the one split right down the middle with the shooting as well as the finishing. But as you can see, we are able to get just a little bit more shooting, which is going to be perfect for this build. Now, for the physical profile, this one is actually going to be a little bit different. If you want to go about it, you can go with pretty much any pie chart of your liking. For me, I'm going to go with the fourth, and you're going to see why. Once we do adjust the height, weight, and wingspan, that's going to take a huge effect into that area of the build. But as you can see, getting started, once it comes down to the finishing end, I'm going to go with a close shot of 93. As for the driving layup, I'm going to go with the 72 as well as a 73 driving dunk. Now, once it comes down to the standing dunk, I'm going to go with the 77. That's going to bring us up to a total of 15 badges. And honestly, for this build, I'm telling you, on the inside, you're going to be a real threat, especially if you do take this build to the 1v1 court. But as you can see, for the shooting, you are still able to hold your own, and consider adding boost to these builds as well. Grinding them out to 99, that is really going to give you a +8 boost. Then from there, once it comes down to the playmaking, we're going to end up with 15 badges total, 20 for the shooting, and then finally we can use the rest of the attributes for the defensive end. Now consider unlocking the extra badges from each season. You're going to be able to get at least 6 extra badges from each season if you have completed them, or 7 if you have already completed season 7. That means you'll be able to get at least around 11 defensive badges if you add it to this area. However, that is only if you have completed each and every season when it comes down to this 2K. But honestly, adjust to your liking and make sure that as long as you feel comfortable with the setup, everything is going to work out for you. Just base this off of your own playstyle. Now when it comes down to the body shape, I'm going to go with burly, but also you can pick builds. When it comes down to the height though, I'm going to go with 6'9", and also for the weight, 190 is a perfect range to work around, so I'm going to go right there, and that's going to give us a huge boost to the speed. Right there, once you go ahead and add in the gym rat badge as well as hitting 99 overall on this build, you're going to be able to get at least an 80 plus speed. Now, for the wingspan, if you do go with 85.0, your close shot at 99 overall is going to be a 99, and as y'all can see, we do get the post scoring takeover as well as the sharp shooting. Now as for the takeover, this should be based off of your own preference. However, for my liking, just to be more unique, I'm going to go with the post scoring, or to be more effective, you can go with the sharp shooting. And as y'all can see, we have created the back to basket big build, and I'm telling you, this is definitely one of the most rare, and if not the most rare, power forward on 2K current gen. Let's go ahead and get into the third and final build that I got lined up for y'all today. Now this is low-key a super rare and the most rare lockdown build that you are ever going to see. Now I know a lot of y'all have seen this build made out of different positions, so if you have before, go ahead and comment down below right now if you have seen this build. And we're going to be making at number 3 the ball hawk lockdown defender build. And if you did make it this far into the video, man, I really appreciate y'all. To those of you who have come out, now just know, as long as we continue to grow the Rich Gang family, things are only going to get better on this channel. But also, when it comes down to the breakdown of these builds, I want to make sure that every single build you see from this channel is going to be very overpowered and the best version of it when it comes down to the breakdown. Let's go ahead and get into this one. We're going to make it out of the point guard. Once it comes down to the physical and the pie chart breakdown, just remember you can make most of these builds out of different pie charts, but when it comes down to the way that I'm bringing them to y'all, easily the best well-rounded, as well as when it comes down to the badge setup and animations, you're going to have everything that you need and want. For this one, I'm going with the red and green pie chart, but with more defense than the shooting. Then when it comes down to the physicals, I'm going to go with a 90 speed, 89 acceleration, and a 72 vertical. Now, once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of the shooting on this build, I'm going to go ahead and say that the mid-range is going to go up to an 80. As for the three-pointer, I'm going to bring this up to a 78, as well as with a free throw of 85. Post-fade, going to be brought up to a 56, and for my liking, that's going to be perfect. Now, once we go ahead and get into the playmaking, max out your pass accuracy as well as the ball handle. Go with a 44 post control, and then from there, we're going to end up with a total of 15 shooting badges, 9 playmaking, and then for the defensive end, a total of 20. But you can honestly change up some of these numbers if you do want to go about it that way. For my liking, I just want to be able to spread the wealth as much as I possibly can, and I truly believe that's going to make these builds the best ones possible. Now, max out that driving dunk when it comes down to being a 69. Bring up the same exact thing for the driving layup, and I feel like this is going to be perfect. We're also going to be able to get the potential to get park dunks on this build, which makes it even better when it comes down to the animations. Now, for the body shape, I'm going to go with burly or built. As for the height on this build, you have to be very strict when it comes down to it. Certain restrictions do come to certain builds, so that means changing the build names if you do go with something else than other what I show y'all. But 6'3" and 6'2" are very solid heights. I'm going to be going with 6'2" with the weight of 170. Now, once it comes down to the wingspan, this is very essential. You got to be sure that when it comes down to the numbers, you aren't passing certain thresholds when it comes down to the playmaking or even the defensive end, or the build name is going to change, and I'm telling you that right now. But we are pretty much getting into the closing of this video, and if you made it this far into it, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications and hit that like button to join the Rich Gang family. Let's go ahead and get 50 big likes on this banger. Be sure to go ahead and share this video with your family and friends. And let's go ahead and check out the build name. And as y'all can see, we have created the Ballhawk build. Again, thank y'all to those of you who made it to the end. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God, thank y'all, and Rich out.